On behalf, on behalf of the newly elected member for Macquarie Fields, I acknowledge the presence in the gallery today of the former members for Macquarie Fields, the Honourable Craig Knowles, the Honourable Andrew McDonald, former member of the Legislative Council, John Ryan, family, friends and supporters of the new member. I welcome you to the Legislative Assembly this afternoon. I call on the newly elected member for Macquarie Fields. Please make him welcome.
Well, thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Family, friends and fellow parliamentarians, politics and public life is about service. We are here to serve our fellow citizens in opening up opportunities for their aspirations, helping them build a better future. So here I stand today in Australia's first and oldest parliament as the 5th member for Macquarie Fields, representing an area named after the 5th and most significant governor of New South Wales, Lachlan Macquarie. Speaking in a precinct which bears his name, surrounded by his legacy, the Sydney Mint, the Barracks, Sydney Hospital, Hyde Park, the Domain, and of course this very building. If politics is about serving the public interest and the common good, then who in New South Wales history better epitomise these ideals? He transformed a penal settlement into a major economy, built hospitals, roads and public institutions. However, his greatest examples of public service, where the common good was placed in front of personal gain, can be seen in his values and his vision for New South Wales and the nation. He ended the Rum Rebellion. He believed in total equality under the law, regardless of rank in society. He believed in a fair go and enacted the emancipist policy which reflected his values of a meritocracy and justice. He greatly valued an individual's societal contribution and valued very little of their social class. And he had a strong social conscience, as shown in his desire to improve the living conditions of Aboriginals. So it is with privilege for me to be the member for Macquarie Fields, bearing the name of a true gentleman and a giant of New South Wales history. There are very few places in the world where my story and my journey to our parliament is actually possible, not as a visitor or a stranger, but as a member. My parents, Bunmi and Sombun, who are sitting in the gallery, started our family's journey in Laos, a country where instability and conflict had caused them and other people they knew to leave their country of birth. It was an unstable environment, not of their own making, but one which caused them to seek refuge in another country and to find a different future from one that was unfolding before them. In making their journey, they left behind their families, their friends, and the very little that they owned for an unknown destination and unknown future. But it was a journey they were determined to make and to follow a destiny they could not control. They had nothing of monetary value and they carried nothing of material worth. But they had the most important and valuable possession that mattered most, not just to them, but to all of us. They carried with them hope. It was all that they had, but it was all that they needed. Upon arriving in Australia with their 4 young sons, including me, the second youngest, they encountered many obstacles and felt many fears. They were in a land they did not know. They had to learn a language they could not speak. They saw signs they couldn't read, and they heard conversations they didn't understand. They may have started cleaning dishes in restaurants, then moving on to the factory floor, assembling glass, plastic and aluminium products. but they had higher hopes for their family and for their sons because they believed in something special about this new place. They believed in the Australian idea. This idea promoted equal access to opportunity, of choice and of fairness that would be available to all those who seek it and not be denied to anyone that required it. This idea could release your talents and you would be rewarded for your effort, determination and ability. And in this idea, you could aspire to all that you wanted for yourself and for your family. Because in this nation, built on the simplest of ideas and based on the strongest of values, everybody is entitled to have their chance in life, regardless of where they were born, who they are born to, where they live, and what their parents do for a living. But this story and my journey to the Parliament is not about my parents or our family or about my election. It is actually about the strength of our common values of fairness and equal opportunity. It is about the openness and the depth of our democracy, and it is actually about the power of the Australian idea of hope and aspiration. These are Labor ideas. Hope, opportunity and aspiration, a better life for all. That's why I joined the Australian Labor Party. Our work in the Parliament is never finished, with former Prime Minister saying that the reward of public life is public progress. But how would we measure it? Is it the number of political promises and press releases? Most certainly not. What about how highly we rank against other states in Australia and other nations across the OECD? Maybe. Or is it the amount of programs funded or projects finalised? Possibly. The measures actually are much simpler and actually more substantial. It is my view that we strive to measure our public progress through the tone of our parliamentary debates, the depth of our public discourse, the role of science and statistics, reason and rationale in policy making, and for me personally, measuring whether there is just enough space on the ballot paper and whether there is one more seat in our democratic institution for a skinny kid with two long funny names who had to learn English as a 6-year-old to one day to represent his community in our parliament. These are true measures of public progress because they reinforce the nature of our egalitarian state, the openness of our community, and the level of cultural richness and diversity of our society. And if I were to say the same things when I was a 6-year-old, I would say that อยู่ในประเทศนี้อยู่ในสังคมนี้บ่มีหยังสิเป็นไปบ่ได้ Nothing is impossible. This legislative assembly of ours with its Westminster traditions can be an institution for great change and to help meet the challenges of a modern New South Wales for generations to come. However, at times we fail to live up to our community's expectations. A number of residents spoke to me about what they think of politicians of all parties. It wasn't positive. A softly spoken and well-informed gentleman spoke to me as he made his way from the polling booth at Robert Townsend Public School. He and his son had just voted informal because they were disenchanted by the negativity, personal attacks and the substandard of debate. His feelings, though, I suspect, are reflective of many who have felt disappointed when they see personality power plays put in front of the public debate and political partisanship put ahead of the public interest. We need to do everything we can to raise the standard of our parliamentary debates and public discussion to meet our people's expectations. Consideration should be given to changing the rules of parliamentary debate, question time and parliamentary schedules, perhaps along the lines of the British model to encourage reasoned debate rather than sloganeering, showmanship and rehearsed lines. Changes in the institutional rules, however, alone cannot elevate the perception of our profession in the eyes of the people. It will take a prolonged effort and a long time, but we should make the start. Our public resources are limited, but the public demands on them are not. There needs to be a balance between economics and fairness. Our solutions should be driven by our collective interests, not by political ideology. They should be built on our values, not based on the needs of vested interests. And bipartisanship is not a sign of failure, because vested interests always win and policy outcomes are always weaker when bipartisanship goes missing. Governments cannot solve every issue on its own, and perhaps nor should it. We need the combined will of our community. We need to take them with us. Society works best when there is a shared responsibility between the government and the people it serves and the organisations it helps. Labor's way of "we are in this together" is always more powerful and more productive than one where you are always on your own. Education is an equaliser, but is also a vehicle for social and economic elevation. Your family's bank balance should never determine how much your mind is worth or put a value limit on your ability. In a prosperous New South Wales, there should always be enough public credit for all of us, especially those of modest means, to withdraw from and to invest in our own aspirations to advance our society. Public education is fundamental to a fairer and more prosperous New South Wales. How do I know this? It's because I've lived it. Without society's investment in my public education and other students at Robert Townsend Public and High School, I would not have been able to attend the best universities and learn from the brightest minds. It is in Labor's DNA to ensure that our schools are well funded, our teachers are well trained, and our students are well supported with all the tools they need to learn and to live up to their own educational aspirations. When governments underinvest in our education and training system or seek to commercialise what is a valuable common good, we not only take away classrooms that should have been built or books that should have been bought. What we do is actually take away the hopes of a sharp mind and a strong will wanting a better life, and we deny them the opportunity to fulfil their potential. Labor will never be a part of this outcome. My time at the London School of Economics further reinforced to me why New South Wales needs to be a continually outward-looking, international-looking state. In my small class, there were students from all around the world coming to learn from each other and to share their ideas and experiences. They came from a variety of professional and academic backgrounds. Most were bilingual, others were multilingual, but all were clever. These very students, once graduated, I know would go back to their own countries, thinking of ways to make innovative products we might want to buy and deliver the service we would have to pay to use. In New South Wales, we must not only compete with other states within Australia, but also against other nations from across the world. Our education curriculum, our vocational courses should always be open to new ideas, different subjects, improved teaching methods, and we must ready our workforce for the jobs of the future. Jobs in science, technology and innovation, jobs in climate science and renewable energy, jobs in culture and creativity, and jobs in value manufacturing and professional services. In a connected and internationalised world, the race for the brightest minds to create the jobs of the future is intense. Competition has moved beyond the nation states and is now between international cities. It is not about attracting financial capital, but also human capital. Wouldn't it be good if we could add to our society and attract the hard-working, the highly skilled, well-educated and creative people to Sydney, Western Sydney or New South Wales? These people will grow our economy, they will add to the richness of our society and social fabric, they will come with new ideas to begin new businesses and create new jobs. And yet, they were trained elsewhere using someone else's money. We need to find better strategies to attract these people and to make them stay. It will not be enough to simply rely on harbour views, sunny days and sandy beaches. The people of Macquarie Fields have given me the greatest privilege in allowing me to serve them as their local member. I recognise the trust and faith they have placed in me to represent their interests and advocate on their behalf in the New South Wales Parliament. The people of Macquarie Fields, an aspirational area full of people who want to build a better life, go about their daily lives, making an honest living, helping others in our community, and they always do so with hope for a better future. They are a genuine and generous people who ask for very little, but I know who deserve so much, and they are hardworking. Our local community is further enriched by its cultural and social diversity, where over 56% of at least one parent was born overseas. Their different life experiences, culture, language and ideas can only enhance the social and multicultural fabric of our society and add a few more pages to Australia's storybook. I'm delighted to be able to represent so many people from so many different backgrounds who have chosen Macquarie Fields to be their home. I've seen many changes in our area. Our original family home was one of the first to be built on the street, and about a third of Raby was still to be developed. Since then, newer suburbs have been added, with a few more on the way. Despite this, the Georges River Nature Reserve and the scenic hills are defining local environmental benchmarks which remain untouched by major development. It provides the open space and rural landscape protecting us from continual encroaching development. This environmental buffer is important to my community, and together we'll continue to oppose any major development which cuts into its environmental rural character. It is unacceptable to me in modern New South Wales in 2015 that Macquarie Fields railway station does not have an easy access lift and one where some trains don't stop. There are too many struggles of mums with prams and bags silently struggling to get up and down the stairs, or pensioners stopping multiple times to take a rest just to get to the other side. This is not good enough for the people of Macquarie Fields. This is not just an issue of infrastructure, but an issue of inequity and exclusion. Our area has historical significance, being named after Governor Macquarie, but to me, as a proud Labor MP, Macquarie Fields has another special claim. It is the political home of Edward Gough Whitlam, located in the heart of the federal seat of Werriwa. This is not just any seat, it is Labor heartland. For decades, Labor, and only Labor, has provided a strong, effective representation, bringing the hopes and aspirations of every street in the electorate of Macquarie Fields to Macquarie Street. Politics, of course, is a tough job, and no one ever achieves anything on their own, and you are only ever as good as the people around you. I've been very fortunate to be surrounded and to be supported by so many genuine people. Their only want was for my electoral success, and their only wish was for me to make our community a better place through hard work and dedication as the member for Macquarie Fields. I wish to pay tribute to them and to record how much their effort and their encouragement has meant to me. To the campaign team, led by Dave and Mitch, the ALP organisation, along with my friends Paul and Alison, a great team effort. To the many volunteers who made phone calls, who letterboxed to many streets, put up signs in front yards, set up street stalls and knocked on doors, I thank each and every one of you. With gratitude and respect, I thank the rank and file membership of the local Labor Party who endorsed me as their candidate. Our Labor Party can only be stronger, and our Labor parliamentarians can only be better if ALP members are given more say in our party and get a chance to select their candidate. My council caucus colleagues are George, Meg, Ruth and Wall. I thank them for the opportunity they've given me to lead local Labor over the past 5 years. I also extend my appreciation to some of my non-Labor council colleagues who I've worked cooperatively, including my good friend Fred Borg. I also want to take this opportunity to recognise a very special colleague, the late Brenton Banfield. Brenton was a decent and caring man who taught me much, and while he may no longer be with us, it is still my hope to make him proud. My home city of Campbelltown, which covers most of the electorate, is a better community because of the dedicated employees of Campbelltown City Council under Paul Tozie's leadership. Paul is a top-rate public administrator, but more importantly, he's an actual honourable and decent man. To the previous members who have represented Macquarie Fields over multiple terms, original member Stan Knowles, the Honourable Craig Knowles, and my immediate predecessor, the Honourable Dr. Andrew McDonald. I am indebted to them and thank them not only for their company and their counsel, but for also showing me the way to serve our community with distinction and dedication. I also extend my appreciation to my local federal MPs, Laurie Ferguson and Chris Hayes. I am also pleased to enter this assembly with the newly elected member for Campbelltown. Greg and I were strangers all those years ago when we met at my parents' grocery shop, and now we are fellow members in this house. All those who know Greg are proud of his achievement. To my personal friends, some of them are here tonight, and even though I can't name them all, they know who they are, and I want them to know how much their friendship means to me. These are the friends who are always willing to give up their time when I've asked for it, and they are the friends who are always gracious with their advice when I've needed it. I am grateful for their friendship. There are two sets of families who have given me unqualified love and acceptance. To the Rule family, Molly, Julie and Aaron, our Australian family histories could not be any more different. They are descendants of the First Fleet, and my own family are first-generation Australian migrants. But their love, affection and acceptance of me is no different to as if I was one of their own. To Aaron, any success that I've had or ever will have owes much to his sacrifice and dedication. He's a dear friend, and I'm a better person and a better public representative because of him. To my parents, my three brothers and their partners, my niece and my nephews, including Tristan, who is here tonight, wondering how much longer before PS4 time, you bring much joy and happiness to my life. My parents in particular have embedded in me the values of hard work, determination, optimism, and the need to look out for others less fortunate and less able. Like any parent, they are proud to see their son in the Parliament, but I'm even prouder just to be their son. They say that our politics, of course, is a lonely profession. My life inside and outside of politics would be very much the lonelier without my partner Anna. Her love and understanding has made me a better man. Our journey in life has many more years ahead, and I very much look forward to sharing those years with her. All these people that I have mentioned, through their different strength, wisdom and generous spirit, has made me all that I am and all that I'll ever be. My determination and aspiration is that we as a parliament do all we can to make a better life for the people of this great state, just as Governor Macquarie did all those years ago. In all areas of public debate, New South Wales can lead the nation. We should and we must. We must. I thank the Assembly.
Well done, mate. Fantastic speech.
Yeah, should I down? Anna. No, no, just like.
You doing another one?
No, I assist with you.
Yourself a rap tape. Did you? Oh, he knows it's okay. Good luck, Joe.
You're going to get from there.
Thank you. Is it spider? Thanks.
Just a catch, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
It just says Labour government representative.
I think somebody, Guy, I think you might have it. Please not up to the next.
Sorry.
That's my note. No, you can have it, that's right. Yeah. I'm just going to
They're coming in very slow.
Just